just like to go, but I'd like to build a DeLorean and go back to April when everybody here was predicting likely to cause a recession. Investment stops and a recession happens. They're not talking about a U.S. recession. They're talking about a global recession.
What was happening in April,
Lead to recession. Eventually, there being a reception.
Scott, hold on a second.
Very cleverly. If he's chosen to pick my words, just a second,
You called the recession.
You
took your shoe off.
And Joe, would you like to see that again?
You took your shoe off. You brought cookies out here.
15%.
You took your shoe off and you said there was going to be a recession.
Listen, Scott,
GDP is 3%.
Too early to give a final verdict.
All right, Scott,
it's too early. Just a second, Abby. He's basically calling me out here. It's too early to give a final verdict on the tariffs. You may wish to, but at the moment, it can't be said what the long-term effect is going to be.
I am just a journalist, and all I can do is read the economic data.
It's a bit of a stretch.
3% GDP, trade deals, record high in the stock market,
come on, these trade deals are garbage.
It's actually much simpler.
Garbage?
Yes. Hold on a second. It's much simpler than this. Just one second, because I think it's super important to understand. Scott, what was happening in April of this year, 2025? What was happening then? What did the president announce on that week, the first week of April? What did he announce?
The president was implementing his
Scott?
Tariff agenda.
And what were those tariff levels?
And well, they were different for different countries.
Okay, so
every single person predicted calamity. Calamity.
Scott, you can't skip steps here.
And there is none.
What were those tariff levels?
They were different. He had a chart.
Not just different. They were 2 to 3 times higher than the current tariff levels. Did those tariffs go into place, Scott?
It's different for every country.
Scott,
it's different for every country.
It's a simple question. Did those tariffs go into place?
He has delayed some of the tariffs.
Yes or no?
He has delayed some of the tariffs, and he's made deals, and he's implemented others.
Did any of the tariff levels that Trump announced on that week, did they ever go into place?
Some tariffs have been implemented, some have been delayed, and some deals have been made.
The answer is they did not. They did
some
not.
Tariffs have been
implemented.
Some tariffs have been implemented.
All of those quotes.
That's why we have all this money coming in.
We have them here.
Even you said
it. You're playing with numbers here.
We have them here.
No, back in April.
You guys are so mad. Why are you rooting for failure? Why does this table root for failure?
Please, because you are saying that you are taking a number of 40, 50, 60% back in April, and you're comparing it to a number of 10, 15% now.
Fine, but it was his strategy to negotiate and create leverage,
Scott,
and give us the situation we're in
today. Okay, Sir Michael, I will let you talk, but I just have to say, completely disingenuous to suggest.
I'm sorry, you were the one
Scott,
calling for a recession in
April,
not me.
Give me 1 second.
You called for it.
Give me 1 second. Please let me finish. It is completely disingenuous to suggest that what economists said would happen if Trump imposed 50 and 60%, let's jump all the way up to 135% level tariffs on this economy would have been a recession. Those levels never happened, which is why there has been no recession.
You sound
disappointed. So it's not that complicated.
The levels haven't happened, but it didn't stop individuals who were antagonistic to the president and his agenda, whether they agree with him or not, from saying that this is still going to lead to significant inflationary rates. We have not seen that.
Yeah,
and so you would think individuals who were on the negative of this would have at a minimum acknowledged the fact that the president did not implement those high tariff rates, which you just stated.
It is super simple. Did Donald Trump implement the tariff levels that he
No, I acknowledge that the tariff levels my point is,
when you evaluate whether or not inflation has resulted from those tariff levels, how are you evaluating it? Because they haven't gone into place. So obviously, inflation hasn't increased to the levels that people projected if they had gone into place.
We're arguing two different things. The point that I'm making is individuals who said at the time that this would lead to a recession continue to make the same argument despite the fact that those tariff rates were not implemented. That's the point I'm making, and no one here is willing to acknowledge that fact.
Let me just play Jerome Powell, because I'm not an economist, but this guy is. So listen to what he has to say about tariff levels and the impact on the economy.
Higher tariffs have begun to show through more clearly to prices of some goods, but their overall effects on economic activity and inflation remain to be seen. Effective level of tariffs is not moving around that much at this point, but at the same time, there are many uncertainties left to resolve.
And honestly, the main uncertainty that he's talking about is that we just don't know what the deals are going to end up looking like. And we might know come Friday. We might know come Friday, and then next month we'll assess the situation. But right now,
can I just say,
Abby,
the deals. Let's talk about the deals. Right. So we've got the deal with the European Union, which somebody has already described as pie in the sky. They simply will not buy that amount of energy, and nor will they invest that amount of money. We have the deal with Japan, where nobody knows where the $650 billion worth of investment is going to come from. Nobody. The Japanese admit they don't know where it's going to come from. We've got the deal announced today with the South Koreans. What Donald Trump has brilliantly done, he wanted a headline number, and it's around 15%, but the underlying terms of trade deals are garbage.
So, Richard, what deal would you have preferred?
How do you mean?
Well, what details of a deal would suffice for you?
Well, I would have liked them to have negotiated a proper long-term
What's proper?
deal.
Let's focus on the word proper.
Where the
What's
detail
proper
holds
to
up.
you?
Where the detail...
No, because you keep saying this, but you're giving no specificity whatsoever.
Well,
I can sit here and name a whole bunch of random ridiculousness. That means absolutely nothing at all.
With respect, no, because they've actually announced a European deal where supposedly $600
So
billion...
give specifics about what you would like to see in an alternative. Wait a minute, Scott. Give an alternative and give specifics for what would be a deal that would satisfy your critique.
A long-term trade relationship deal that doesn't rely on a fictitious amount of investment.
Okay.
The Japan deal.
Richard.
No.
I'm listening.
The Japan deal envisages $650 billion worth of investment. But nobody says by whom or how or the penalty against. It is literally making it up.
Look,
because
let me let some of the other folks onto the conversation. Go ahead, Chuck.
I'm not going to. Me and Matt's got some things to say. First of all, I want to go back, but I ain't going back this far.